Welcome to the So You Wanna Get Fat podcast. I am your host, not your typical chef, Brian Sao. And today with me, as always, is my host, my buttery ball of French goodness, Frenchy.
What's different about today?
Today
is our first AM recording.
Oh, it is. Yeah, that is true.
Thank God I've had coffee.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I need some coffee. I need more coffee. We are filming this early because I am getting my tonsillectomy.
So let's bank a few just in case we don't know what happened to you.
We have no idea what's going to happen. Yes, let's knock on wood. So, Frenchie, really quick, where are we filming this episode from right now?
340 West 46th Street, New York, 10036. That's Le Rivage restaurant in the heart of the world. And if you're in New York, take a trek over, cross the bridge, or through a tunnel to visit me at Mission Sandwich Social, 326 Bedford Ave in Brooklyn, Williamsburg. Check it out. Is that hipster town?
Used to be hipster central, and then the hipsters got priced out. So it's a shrinky area now, man. There's a lot of great restaurants, a lot of high-end shopping these days. Domino Park, it's a beautiful area. I absolutely love it.
I should come visit one day.
You should. Well, speaking of Mission Sandwich,
that's not true. I've been to Mission Sandwich
many a times. Especially in the early days of when we started, working together on YouTube. You would come to Brooklyn and can you not do that to the mic?
I have an itch on my nose.
You and your giant schnoz.
Do we know it? Big schnoz.
Yeah, big schnoz.
Big. Finish it.
No. So what's happening now? So, well, as of filming this episode's going to come out probably in August.
You have scaffolding?
Yeah, in front of the shop right now. They're waterproofing the building. They're like redoing the grouting and everything.
Oh, I have to do that.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's messy. But as of filming this, 4th of July just passed not too long ago. I forgot to talk about this in the last episode. And
you barbecued outside?
Yeah, we closed the shop early and we just barbecued right in front of the shop.
What did you barbecue?
Burgers? Burgers, hot dogs, and some steaks. And
what did you barbecue on?
Oh, you see this little red,
a little Weber?
Yeah, little. It's not even a Weber. It's like it's like a $30 Home Depot cheapest grill. That's what I tend to buy. I just buy them and
just toss it out.
Just toss it out after a couple of years, a year. Those grills, like after 2 or 3 uses, the paint starts to burn off. Yeah. But they do the job just fine. And it was a great moment.
Nothing like those paint fumes in your food.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's delicious. Well, it was great because a lot of people in this neighborhood of Williamsburg, it's a lot of young people, also a lot of transplants who are away from family and maybe don't necessarily want to go back home for
So you created a gathering.
We created a gathering. And I don't have pictures of that or footage of that because I just wanted to enjoy myself.
So imagine at home, people gathering.
At home, yes. But it was great because people would come up to me at the grill and they say, "Can I get a hot dog, please?" And I was like, "Oh, they're not for sale." And they'd be like, "Oh," I was like, "But I'll give you one." And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, yeah, just, hot dog, no problem. And they're like, "Are you sure?" It's like, absolutely. Like, we're having a little staff party now. So yeah, we were having people gathered outside getting free hot dogs, and it's a nice community building moment. And guess what? A lot of those people came back the next day to buy a sandwich. It was nice. It's nice.
It's nice to know you're giving away food for free.
Yeah.
Where am I when this happens?
You were on your big deck naked.
I was.
Naked.
I was.
You called me. Frenchie calls me and goes, I pick up, I go, hey, what's up? Bonjour, mignon. And then he goes, bonjour. Do you know what I'm doing right now? And I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you doing? I'm probably busy or doing something. You're like, I'm a naked on my big deck. So that's Frenchie's family was away during the week, and he got to be at home alone. But we still met up that week, the day before, to film a couple things. You know, we still got to see each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was
nice. I went back Thursday.
Yes, you did. And, you know, tell me if you feel differently. We're talking about the now, you know, it's New York is very slow and it's very normal.
It is, but it is dead slow.
It is very slow right now. However,
last night was surprisingly busy.
Well, what I was going to say is I feel like we are slowly returning to the pre-pandemic norms. There are obviously things that have changed, but certain ebbs and flows of this city seem to be maybe going back to like 80s era New York, unfortunately. But
no, let's shoot for late 80s.
Late 80s, okay, late 80s.
When it was
starting to clean up.
When Giuliani started cleaning shit up.
Yeah. Oh man, talk about a fall from grace.
I know.
Holy shit.
Now every time I think of him, I just think of him when his hair dye is just pouring down his face.
Oh, so gross.
That's the only way I remember him now.
So sad.
He really fall from grace.
He was the man that cleaned up New York, man. Yeah.
He did.
He was beloved in New York when he was mayor.
Yeah.
Now he's a little bit crazy.
He went off
the deep end. But I don't know. What do you think? Do you think New York is kind of returning slowly to its pre-pandemic status quo?
It's going to be neighborhood by neighborhood. I don't think it's going to be homogenous.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be all of Manhattan.
Right.
So I think downtown has a head start.
Yeah.
Right. I think Upper East Side has a little bit of a heads up. Then the Upper West Side, Midtown East. I think my neighborhood's going to be the last one. In Manhattan. Really? We're talking about Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't speak for all the other boroughs.
Well, I feel like the outer boroughs have developed a lot in the last 10 years.
They've gained their own independence.
Yes, yeah.
People in the outer boroughs don't feel the need to come into Manhattan.
Yes. Well, this ties into what I keep saying about how social media has changed the landscape of businesses. You no longer go to an area for a vibe or for a certain thing. Now you can go directly to a singular place, all because you saw it on social media. A business or a person can develop a following and bring it to them wherever they go. So you don't necessarily need to go to the theater district for theater nowadays. You don't necessarily need to go to, you know, the Lower East Side for bars and clubbing, right? Like things have just kind of changed and spread out.
But you know what's dying?
Nightclubs. Yeah.
Completely dying.
Yeah.
And smaller venues are picking up.
Yes. We appeared on the Stephen Toberoff's, he's the owner of Woolco Foods. He does a podcast. We appeared on his podcast and we spoke a little bit about this. And my opinion on the matter is that, number one, the whole perception of going out with the boys or the girls and getting fucked up, it's almost a
bottle service.
Bottles, it's like frowned upon now.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're getting bottle service?
Gross.
Like, yeah, gross.
I always thought it was gross.
Yeah.
But it was like a necessary evil.
Yeah. I think that whole idea of broing down, you know, or the girls' night out is not quite the same anymore. If they are going to have a girls' night out, they're going to go to a nice restaurant or a cocktail bar. Like you said, the smaller places.
I think the smaller venues and they're food oriented. There has to be food in some shape or form.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is something I like. I personally love that.
Yeah. I mean, that's like Pig Beach. Do you know Pig Beach?
Mm-mm.
So Matt Abdu has this place. It's almost like an event space. They have indoor, outdoor.
Yeah.
And they just cater all day to like barbecue and stuff.
Indoor, outdoor. It's like the outdoors, indoors.
Well, they have they really
like Night at the Roxbury. You remember that movie?
They work with everything they got, basically.
Yeah.
But they can cover all the bases.
Okay.
But they have a huge outdoor space and they have barbecue and I like it. It's just a fun atmosphere and they can do events. They can have bands. They can adapt to any scenario.
Right.
And that's what I think is going to be the new nightclub.
Well, you know about a certain project that I'm working on. They're opening up this new food hall that is doing exactly that. It has a music venue inside with bars.
Ooh, yes.
And they're looking for food vendors like Mission Sandwich to go in there and bring the vibe. So I agree with you. I love nightlife that incorporates food. Growing up Korean and Chinese, that's the nightlife I'm very used to. That was more common. Like you never went to a bar and just drank and stood there and ate peanuts. Like
small town feel. Think of like carnivals and things like that. Like at the carnival, you had rides, attractions, you had food, you had everything, and then you had music. Yeah, you know, and fireworks. You had everything. So as long as you touch a little bit on everything, nightclub was just, you know.
I think it inflated and got bigger and bigger, and it became this spectacle.
The problem is the feeling of getting used at the end of the night. Like I wasted all this money, and I didn't even get laid.
That's well, that's another thing actually that we brought up in Steven Toberoff's episode is it's cost prohibitive now, right? Like people now would rather, or in most cases, have no choice but to pick up a 6-pack and just gather 5-6 friends at someone's house. Yeah. And if they can't, and also,
and that's actually more fun.
And that's more fun. And also, like you said, I spent all this money, I didn't even get laid. Well, the advent of apps, before you would have to go to a place to meet people, right? Like that, or classifieds in a magazine, which like God knows what's happening there.
There's Tinder and all that. Like, or you're getting laid. Yeah. Even if you're a broke ass.
Yeah. You know? So the landscape has just completely changed. Yeah. I married my wife before like apps really, really took off. So I have no experience in this world at all. So every time I talk to young people and they're like, oh, I went on this date or whatever. And I'm like, oh, how'd you meet them? On an app. But like for me, it doesn't compute. I know you met Blondie via an app, but it's
Bumble.
Yeah, Bumble. But to me, it doesn't compute just because I haven't experienced it. Okay, so that's what's the now. We mentioned that last week's episode was the Hot Tour Girls analysis by Dr. Grande, which you ended up really liking. Dr. Grande. Yeah. Today we're gonna experience someone new today. The channel is called Chubby Emu, and he collabs with
Chubby Emu.
Yeah, Chubby Emu. Yeah, great channel. I think you're really gonna like it. And then the latest episode on Pro Chef Reacts was the lasagna episode.
Oh,
yes.
We have to put a bow on that, right?
What do you mean put a bow on that?
We're not quite finished with that today.
Well, oh yeah. We have to go film B-roll of a good lasagna.
Yes.
We've been ending the Pro Chef Reacts episodes with like what we call a Feasty Boys clip, like an abbreviated version of it, because I realized we're in Restaurant Row. You know, there's every type of food within,
and it spills out onto every.
Yeah, it's just. And I don't know. I just felt like it was a way to really write a love letter to New York. You know, this is such a special area. I wanted to showcase it. Well, we went to a place to get lasagna, and let's just say our tummies were a bubbling afterwards. So unfortunately, we're not gonna.
Mine less than yours.
No, mine was less than yours because I ended up being okay. I just felt like kind of gross.
Well, yeah, me too. But. Yeah. It was. I knew right off the bat. I was like, "Oh no, I'm not eating this anymore."
So he ate 2 bites, and I'm, you know, my dad,
a garbage pail kid.
Yeah, I am a garbage pail kid. My dad raised me saying, "For every grain of rice you don't finish, it is a pimple on your future wife's face." Yes. So I always finish my food. Always.
Did he say that in English?
Yeah.
So he had to translate that, right?
Well, my dad's English is pretty decent.
No, yeah. I'm not saying how he speaks English. I'm saying that he took an old proverb.
Oh, yes.
And gave it.
Yeah,
my father did that shit too.
Oh, okay. So yeah, he told me, it's like, you better finish all that food. Every grain of rice that you don't finish, that's a pimple on your future wife's face. And guess what? My wife doesn't have pimples, but I'm a very fat. So, Frenchie ate 2 bites of this lasagna, and then I looked at it and kept looking at it, and I ate the whole thing.
Yeah.
And fuck, the rest of the night, I mean, you saw my face. I was like, I don't feel too good right now, buddy. I guess we can show B-roll of that lasagna.
Bad one?
Yeah, like we won't show the outside of the restaurant, but we'll show you. Yeah, I should have known better. I ended up being fine, but still, just
it wasn't a pleasant ride.
Yes, you have quality standards. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh
my.
Hey, Frenchy, quick thought. You know, I like to think that our audience learns a lot from this podcast, you know, in regards to the behind the scenes of the restaurant scene and even cooking techniques. And, you know, sometimes the food we react to may get them hungry. And that is why I'm excited to tell you about the sponsor of today's podcast, CookUnity. CookUnity is the first chef-to-you service delivering locally sourced meals with award-winning chefs right to your door every week. And it's cheaper than any other delivery options. I'm a big meat eater, so of course I had to get Pat LaFrida's short rib bourguignon. And how can I deny that sweet Italian sausage and peppers with pasta? I also tried Chef Santiago Lopez's Mexican street carnitas plate, which was awesome. And the pepperoni naan pizza with the hot honey drizzle, that was pretty banging. There's no cooking required for a chef-quality dining experience right at home. Every meal is handcrafted by chefs and made in local micro kitchens and not gigantic production facilities. CookUnity's packaging is compostable, recyclable, and reusable. What's great is that there's a ton of variety with hundreds of dishes to choose from, and it covers all the dietary preferences. You got paleo, you're a meat lover, you're gluten-free, you're vegetarian, they got you covered. Experience chef-quality meals every week delivered right to your door. Go to cookunity.com/wannagetfat or enter the code wannagetfat before checkout for 50% off of your first week. That's 50% off of your first week when you use the code wannagetfat or going to cookunity.com/wannagetfat.
Life is too short to be wasted on bad food.
No.
Oh, no.
No, we're not there yet. Okay. So, as always, we will start the episode with a clip of the day. And you know what? Last week's clip of the day was Michael J. Fox. But the one before that, do you remember the one before that?
No.
Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah.
Discipline is doing something you hate like you love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love Mike Tyson, man. Oh, and that's why I prepared another one from Mike Tyson.
God tests you. He tests you and see how much of this you can take before you say, let's just be finished with this. He wants to show you something. He wants to see how much you can take, how much you can handle of life. You say you love life, you want to live life. I'm going to show you life. Life is beautiful, but you have to accept the good and the bad as being beautiful. You can't accept the good, oh, this is beautiful. Then we lose some of our life sucks. Why do I have to go through this pain? Why do I have to go through this fear all the time? Why can't it just be peaceful all the time? Then it wouldn't be life. Life is beautiful because life gave us the ability to just know them on our journey in life. We met them. We loved them. We cared about them. They cared about us. That's the purpose of life, just to enjoy what we had while we journeyed through it.
Oh. Mike Tyson, man.
I would never want to go through what he went through.
No. Well, you said it.
And I'm
you
not
said
even...
it perfectly. To hell and back a few times.
A few times.
Yeah. And he's doing great now. And he looks great.
Yeah. Do you ever see that interview where the guy brings up like the death of his
death of his daughter?
And then he just like, you need to leave now.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
My penis went into my body.
I was just like, ooh. Look at this. Look.
I know, I see.
Can you do a close-up on that? Holy crap.
Okie dokie. So, before we go on to the next segment, well, no, let's just do it. Just the Tip Jacques. This is the image that I will have popped up every single time before we get into Jacques Torres's Just the Tip Jacques. Made by a fan.
It's already out of hand.
Did Jacques' people respond to you about us?
No, I think Jacques and Asti are in France. So their phones are like...
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're like, fuck it.
Yeah, I don't talk to their people. I just talk to them.
Well, I didn't want to say Asti's name on camera, but yeah.
So bleep that.
Okay.
Well, no, she's...
Oh, she's
They
fine
know
with
who
that?
they are.
Oh, okay.
Who she is.
Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't know. I try to be respectful.
Well, she
to
was
people's
Madame Chocolat. She had her own thing.
Now I know.
She has her own brand.
Okay, now I know. I just try to be respectful of people's families. That's all.
Yeah.
You know how I am about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you're like, Blondie's named this and my children's named that, and then I have to go back in the edit and tell people to remove shit.
Edit.
It's more work for me. All right, today's Just the Tip. I absolutely love what he covers today.
Bonjour, I am Jacques Torres. Welcome to
Madelyn.
Tuesday Tip. Today I want to show you
Madelyn.
something that everybody loves, kids and adults. Madelyn. Madelyn is one of those very simple things to do, and you actually can prep them in advance, pop them in the oven at last minute, and everybody loves them. So, 100 grams of butter, 120.
I love that everything is by weight, not volume.
Yes, and why? Why?
Oh,
What
that's
is-
precise.
Yes, weight is always more precise than
Yes.
volume. What's that? Riddle, or what weighs more, 1,000 pound of feathers or 1,000 pound of?
Can't trust volume.
Right. They're both a pound, right? They're both in pounds, but ultimately
Weigh everything.
Yes, weigh everything. Oh, people in the comments section, because one of the previous podcasts, I was saying you always go like, you simplify everything, right? And I just basically lost my shit a little. It's like, you tell us in the comments.
And
Well, and they were like, I like both. It's like
we want both.
it's like
Mommy and Daddy.
yeah. It's like the kids going like, but I love you both equally.
Lemon, 2 eggs,
Was it lemon?
mix everything very
Was lemon rind or peel?
I feel like that was lemon zest.
Right?
Peel,
Okay.
Yeah.
well. 50 grams of bread flour. Pardon, here is the bread flour.
Pardon.
50 grams of
He
cake
said
flour.
sorry. He said sorry in
And
French.
a half
Oh, pardon.
teaspoon of baking powder. And voila, everything is ready. And all I have to do now is to barely mix that together. And I'm going to finish by hand.
That's what she said.
A piping bag with a round tip, about 3/8 of an inch, the opening. And if you twist your piping bag
Yep,
and
it
put
won't-
it into
it
the
won't
tip like
come
that,
out.
The other end.
when you fill your bag, nothing come out. Everything will stay into the bag. So now I'm going to put everything into my piping bag. And what you want to do is just fill those mold at about 2/3.
2/3? Oh
This is
no! Are we gonna leave that again?
2/3.
Oh no! Okay. He said
He said it again.
2/3, not 2 turds. Get your mind out of the.
But I feel we've written this already.
We have. We have. Le Chef Paul. He said 2/3, not 2 turds. Get your mind out of the gutter, Le Chef Paul. Oh, man.
Madelyn we're going to have. Then I'm going to put that into the oven. Madelyn are just out of the oven. As you can see, the butter shine here on that side, and that give a lot of flavor to the Madelyn. That's perfect with a little espresso. I hope that helps.
I want to see if anyone commented on our comment from the other Tuesday tip for the financier.
Bonjour, I am Jacques Torres.
Oh, no, nobody replied. Nobody liked it either.
But who really goes back and rereads those things?
No, it would be like new commenters.
Oh, okay.
They would see that and be like, who's this dick? I guess we would have to comment more on like newer stuff. But it's okay. This is So You Want to Get Fat. This is the show where nothing is current.
Yeah.
Okay. So another clip I wanted to check out today is
Wait, am I reading this right?
yes, you are. This is Jort's Kitchen Beef Wellington Taco. Are you ready for this?
I don't know.
All right, let's check it out.
What is your opinion on taking everything in a beef Wellington and turning it into a taco? You're gonna hate me for this, but that's better than a Wellington.
Now I know that's controversial to say, but let's be real. Wellingtons are annoying to make and the bottom is usually soggy. Cooking each part of it separately is not only easier and faster, but it's also way nicer to eat. Anyways, I'm doing most of this on my Weber Slate griddle, but I'm finishing the beef in the Weber kettle along with the puff pastry.
Oh, so even the taco shell is
the
a puff
hottest
pastry.
and most even I've ever cooked on. So answer me this.
All right. Well, I think that was very clever.
I can expand on this.
Yeah, that was great. That was cool. I like that a lot.
I would, you know what? Open-faced beef Wellington.
Yeah.
Or a Napoleon.
Yeah. Oh.
Dude.
Ooh. Get Chef David to make this. We don't have time.
Think about it, because a beef Wellington Napoleon.
Deep. Yeah.
Oh, I gotta. That's genius.
I mean, you have all the components for the most part, right? I don't think you have a Duxelles on your menu at the moment. Hey, buddy. Hey, look at me.
Wait. No. I have to write this down.
Look at me. I want to taste.
You want to taste this?
Okay. All right. Last episode, we ran out of time. We didn't get to the funny, so we're going to check out the funny today. And, after I learned about your fear of heights, I thought this was pretty funny. With that said...
Which is weird, because I never had it. It just...
Recently happened. Someone in the comments
section... I think that's a way of your body telling you you're too old to do shit. Like, don't take risks. Don't be climbing on top of the roof. That's what I did. I tried to go on the ladder, and I tried to go up high, and I was like, oh... What's going on here? It was like a different feeling, and it was a fear of heights.
I saw in the comments section of a previous episode where I first learned about your fear of heights, and someone in the comments wrote, Brian, ... I never knew you had a fear of heights. Next episode, ... Chef Brian pushes Frenchie out of a plane. That would be a great episode.
Listen, I was going to do that.
Yeah.
And I was on it, about to do it.
Yeah.
And my ex-wife says, no.
Oh, just
I was like in the middle, like, hey, we're doing this. And she's like, no.
Yeah.
I was like, and I said, what? Do you have insurance? Do you have life insurance? I was like, no. Get that done first.
Yeah.
And then you can jump out of a plane.
Oh, I can do it. I have life insurance.
Oh, I have life insurance now, but not, I was young.
Gotcha.
Okay. I think maybe just.
So there's a bridge in China that cracks when you walk on it. Tourist freaks out.
Dude, but that was good reflex.
Hell yeah. No, you don't like this?
No, I don't like this at all.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Somebody could get hurt.
Well, you're going to like this. It took everything for Judge Greg Mathis to not break over some chicken. Oh, I love this clip.
Got on the bus on your face. He hit me hard, Judge. I had to go to the hospital. He hit me hard.
He hit me hard.
He assaulted me with that chicken.
I'm not going to let y'all go no further with this chicken junk.
I never seen him turn down chicken.
I just told y'all I'm done with this chicken. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to let you embarrass yourselves, your family, your community, nor me.
He talking about eat bone, Judge. I do eat the bone, though. But I'm talking about my TV.
So what was different about that day?
I eat the guasa.
The bone was fresh.
I eat the bone, the guasa, all that. But I ain't talking about no chicken. I'm talking about my $400. Stop talking about chicken, the judge say. We talking about the $400. I need my $400.
Man, his $400. I don't care what you say.
I need my $400. I'm trying to watch TV.
You can think what you want and be mad as you want. I'm giving this man his $400. What else you want?
In 2000, he assaulted me with
What's
the chicken.
That for?
Assault to Nason. I had to go to the hospital.
Assault.
Yes.
Do you have a doctor's?
Yes, I have everything.
You went to the.
Everybody in the background's laughing.
What page is that on?
What page is that on?
I don't even want to go and revisit
the judge is like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
What did you tell? Did you actually tell the doctors that happened?
Yes, I did.
Lord.
You right. I'm saying because when he hit me with the chicken, I had to go to the hospital because you know I don't got no neck. I only got head and shoulder. So I had to go check on my neck too.
It's fine. Cause we
Andrew.
It just kept going. It didn't stop.
I know. Can you? When I first found this clip, I was dying laughing. Oh my God, those are some characters. Life is beautiful. It truly is. Okay, so I call this one Famous Bacon. Kevin Bacon says he once wore a disguise to see what life was like as a non-famous person.
That sounds douchey.
This sucks. I want to go back to being famous. All right.
So does he pretend to be someone famous now?
Oh shit!
Zing!
Oh, sorry, buddy. I know his son pretty well, actually.
Oh, I like Kevin Bacon.
No, Kevin Bacon.
He's very salt of the earth.
Yes, very much so.
And he plays good music.
He plays good music, Bacon Brothers, and his son is an incredible musician himself.
What type of music?
Metal, industrial, yeah.
Does he look like his dad?
No, not at all. Looks just like his
her.
mom. Just like his mom. But yeah, he's super cool. I've known him forever. Okay,
They got screwed.
Oh yeah.
Bernie Madoff, like they were deeply invested with Bernie Madoff, and they
had to rebuild.
Yeah, they had to start all over again.
Yep. All right, this is called The Whip, or at least that's what I'm calling this segment. Ready, buddy?
What's in his nose?
I have no idea, but it's funny as hell.
Ooh! Did he fart? Did he look at him and fart?
I don't know. I don't know if that was added or what.
Oh, so that he has to breathe through his mouth.
Yeah.
Why two?
Because he's making noise. I guess he had to like hold his breath.
What part of?
Oh, this is Chinese.
This is Chinese?
Yeah, that's all Chinese right there. Oh, I guess it's replaying now. Oh man, that was
my dad
good.
used to make me go get my Switch.
Your Switch?
You don't know what that? Go get a Switch?
No.
You don't know that?
No.
Oh,
What's that?
this is how cruel my dad was.
Okay, so tell us, what's this Switch?
Like, go get a branch. Go pick out a branch to go get whipped with.
Ooh.
Like, go pick out your own Switch.
Oh, that's what he called it. Did he say Switch?
No, it was like, in French it was that's what it is in English, because I've recanted this story quite a few times that I know the translation.
Oh man, well,
and I remember he would talk to me and then start peeling like the little branches off, and it would leave a little bouquet at the end so that it would really. Oh yes.
Well, my mom used to use a clothes hanger.
Same difference.
And my wife has a good story where so in Southeast Asia.
Oh, where they kept hiding it behind.
Yeah, I told you the
third time you're telling me the story.
I'm turning it to you. I'm devolving.
Yes, we've all heard this story, Brian.
Well, for those who don't know this story, in Malaysia, you could buy something called a tongue tail, which was basically, I believe, it made out of bamboo or something like that. And they were very cheap, and that's what they would use to beat the kids. So my wife and her sisters would find these tongue tails and hide them behind the TVs, because back then TVs were so fucking huge, and you never moved it. And it wasn't until like decades later when they finally replaced the TV with a flat screen LCD, they found just a fucking stack of tongue tail. It was awesome. Okay. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of today's episode. I really, really want you to check out this channel. Chubby Emu, another one of my favorite YouTubers that I watch on the semi-regular. What happened? What's so funny?
I'm still thinking of like
What?
this one time when my dad. This is when I started running faster than him. And he had to chase me around the house, and he got so mad that he couldn't catch me. But he was like, "I'll wait for you."
Yeah.
And I didn't come home. I was like at the top of the hill waiting. And he's like, "Okay, come back."
There was something, your dad, man. So there was something so hilarious. Your buddy Harry came yesterday. You guys had lunch. I came to Laura.
Harry's a good soul. Huh?
Harry's a good soul, but I came when you guys were just wrapping up, and then you were saying that you vividly dream about him all the time. You know, he's gone now, but you vividly dream about Marcel, and then Harry's like, "Well, what did you dream about?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know. He's upset at me. I'm always dreaming about him being upset at me about something." And Harry was like, "Oh, wow. So even in death, he's still disappointed in you." Harry knew Marcel very well too. So Marcel was a beloved man. Okay, this is Chubby Emu is a medical doctor who gives you basically the analysis.
Is this what we're gonna watch?
This is what we're gonna watch.
Okay.
He will give you a breakdown and an analysis of medical procedures, of all kinds of many things. Anything medical. That's the best way I can put it. Just fucking watch it. Okay. And he collabed with Aguga.
Yeah.
A man ate an 8-pound hamburger in 30 minutes.
What?
So
this is what happened to his organs.
So this is
Aguga didn't do this, did he?
Based off. So just watch. Based off case published in literature.
Oh, so it's a reenactment.
It's a reenactment. Yeah.
I knew he wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
I know Guga. He would not do this.
Yeah. This is what happened to his organs. GF is a 40-year-old man presenting to the emergency room with severe abdominal pain. He tells the admitting nurse that a burning sensation was radiating through his upper back and that it felt like his stomach was inside his neck. 8 hours earlier, GF was participating in an eating challenge hosted by a local restaurant. Anyone who could finish their 8-pound hamburger within 30 minutes would not only get the burger for free, but they would get their picture tacked onto the wall.
That was Chubby Emu, by the way. Just FYI.
That doctor?
That doctor. That's him.
GF was a bit of a hamburger connoisseur himself, knowing meats and steaks. He looked at the pictures on the wall, and he knew it was his time to put on a show. Most people who tried the challenge would just make a spectacle and then chicken out and give up just after a few bites. The chef was reluctant to cook all this meat, but knowing that a serious burger enjoyer was here, it must be for real, so it is enough talking, and now it is time to grill this beautiful burger.
Weird. Like, we know all these faces.
Yeah, we know all these faces. I mean, we know everywhere they're filming,
I would, if I were to do this challenge, I would ask for everything to be well done, right? That would get rid of 50% of the meat mass.
Yeah, but it would be dry and hard to eat, so you need to compensate with water.
As GF,
why are we talking about how we would do this challenge? You and I would not do this challenge.
Calmed himself. Inside the dining area, GF was ready. The chef did a final check with the 73% lean beef meat and topped it with some cheese. The burger was brought out. GF took a good look. He was so hungry, and he grabbed the juicy burger.
Wait, did they create a dining room thing in the backyard?
Yeah. Well, you remember that?
Yeah, that's
hut,
outside, right?
Yeah. They just recreated a dining area back there.
Man, Guga really
Patrons
has everything
caught wind of what was happening. GF was putting on a show. He didn't think that he'd need to pace himself. He just kept biting. Anything that came up, he would push right back down as he could feel the burger juices dripping off his chin. As he got into the groove of things, he became unsure if he was even chewing because he was so focused. Encouraged by everyone watching, he pressed on. Unquestionably, before the 30-minute mark, GF stood proud. He had completed the challenge, the burger free of charge, and his picture on the wall. At home now, GF thought he felt kind of weird. At first, he would burp and feel bits of ground beef and the slice of cheese at the back of his...
So just an FYI, he is a practicing medical doctor, and he does this simultaneously with his YouTube channel.
What do you mean?
This dude, Chubby Emu, he's a practicing medical doctor, and he does these videos in lieu of his practice. You know, it's crazy. Work hard, man.
Are you saying that doctors don't make enough money?
Probably.
I mean,
these days.
I do know I have a lot of doctor friends. And they're broke, man.
Yeah.
They're catching up on how much they spend for education.
Right.
And like, you really don't start making money till you're in your 50s or.
Again, it's like anything else. It's like,
but that's like most of your life.
Yeah. It's a serious commitment. I think the potential, I think nowadays, especially with how much cost of living has risen, I think it just, to get to the point where you think you're making enough money just takes longer.
Yeah, but the insurances are out of crazy. I have a friend who's a pharmacist.
Yeah.
And they legally have to, if you have a medication or something, they have to legally ask, according to their contract with the insurance companies, if you have insurance.
Wow.
And if you say, yeah, I have insurance, and you get a card, that same medication is now, they could give, like, for example, it doesn't matter, medication, it costs $3. They could give it to them for $3. But if they have insurance, now they have to sell it to them for $12.
Right.
And they can't tell the customer that.
Right.
It would be cheaper if the customer said, no, I don't have insurance.
Wow.
And to just buy the...
Right. But then the customer would pay out of pocket. In that scenario.
But it's still cheaper.
Right. Yeah, our medical system in the States sucks. Yeah, it's fucked up. Pretty fucked up.
And they're gagged.
Yeah.
They can't.
You know what's crazy is I had a virtual doctor appointment in preparation for my tonsillectomy. And then I was like, okay, thanks, doctor, bye. And he's like, oh, wait. Do you need any medications? I was like, what?
Yes.
I was like,
yeah,
always. It's just, they're always.
Because that's how they're making money.
Yeah.
They get a cut of the drugs.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was just like, you just tried to push some drugs on me.
It's sad to say, but yeah.
Wrote, the burger was sitting like a rock at a position higher in his abdomen than normal, squeezing up through his chest. He felt puffy and bloated, but then pain started permeating through his body. He could feel something sharp in his upper back as he started to panic. GF tried to wash everything down with some water.
Just adding more
the burger
volume.
just wasn't moving, but then it felt like the water was hanging around at the back of his throat, and then his stomach started cramping. GF grabbed the armrest
Look
of
at
his
those
chair.
hands.
He felt
Those
like
are
the
the hands
burger
he
was
fell in love
oozing
with.
out
I fell
of
in
his
love with
throat,
that first.
But he also felt like it was stuck like a rock in his stomach. In the bathroom, GF was brought down to the ground. He did have some movement come up, but things just kept getting worse as he gets into his car and he
recognize
drives
that
himself
bathroom,
to
too.
the emergency room where we are now. Given this history of present illness, the medical team has some clues as to what's happening. First, GF's abdomen was not only hard to the touch, but it was also swollen.
Yeah.
This could be because there's an 8-pound hamburger sitting inside of him, but recently swallowed chewed ground beef shouldn't be that hard to the touch. What could be that hard to the touch is if the stomach perforated and is leaking gas from free air into his abdomen, something called pneumoperitoneum. Pneumo referring to air, and peritoneum referring to, generally, a membrane that lines the abdominal cavity, but in this case referring to the cavity where the abdominal organs are. Except an X-ray reveals no gas present in this area, at least for now.
Cool, right?
Yeah, this is scary.
This is scary, yeah.
A blood test finds that GF's kidneys have started shutting down. Excess white blood cells are now floating around for some reason, indicating that something in his body is either infected or inflamed, but what could it be? When the medical team looked at the x-ray, they thought they saw something there. Knowing that he had recently eaten an 8-pound burger, a CT scan shows everyone the entire burger. The gastrointestinal tract, GI for short, is a long continuous muscle spanning from your mouth to your other end. When you eat, food often induces something called a stretch reflex. That is, the size and weight of the food will stretch the muscles of the GI tract and cause contractions that ripple through, leading to a bowel movement. This assumes that food stretches the stomach a little, but not like how 8 pounds of ground beef would stretch it. Simplistically, the stomach is a bag lined with muscle that churns food, physically breaking it up before it can be absorbed into the body. But GF's stomach is a bag that's not adapted to suddenly having this much food. The swelling and the distension of his abdomen is immediately obvious, but serious problems are happening now due to this, bringing us back to inflammation. When doctors look at the blood test results, they notice that digestive enzymes are now floating.
Dude, I keep watching you. You are in. You are sucked in. Isn't it good?
Dude, we've been in this situation. So I'm like, shit, how close were we?
Yeah. Well, after I watched this in preparation of today's episode, I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't eat so fucking much at once, because when he finally explains exactly what happens, it's fucking shocking. It's crazy.
Around in GF's body. Just behind and underneath the stomach is a long organ called the pancreas. It's responsible for secreting digestive juices at the point where the stomach connects to the intestines, something called the gastroduodenal junction. Gastro referring to the stomach, and duodenal being the duodenum, the first part of the small intestines where food enters.
You're done.
Yeah.
It's so quick.
When I fell through that glass floor, the doctor told me I was the glass that was stuck in me was like centimeters away from my pancreas. He's like, if your pancreas was damaged in that accident, you would be on dialysis for the rest of your life. He's like, consider yourself extremely lucky. So,
yeah. Starts to absorb into the body. These digestive juices are enzymes that are meant to chemically break down carbohydrates, proteins, and fats so that the basic macronutrients of food can absorb into the body. If digestive enzymes have leaked into GF's blood, then it means that something is happening to his pancreas. If those enzymes are supposed to digest proteins and fats.
What was that?
It's very intense.
Very intense, right?
Like, listen to me now.
The pancreas is made of proteins and fats.
You're going to learn a lesson.
Then it means that his pancreas is now starting to digest itself. It can't contain those enzymes anymore, so they float around in his blood. The body detects this damage, sending white blood cells explaining the inflammation. But why is this happening? And does it have anything to do with why his kidneys are shutting down too? The organs in the abdomen are packed tightly, and they're close to each other. The human body has the ability to expand in order to adapt to the conditions placed upon it. When 8 pounds of burger is inserted into the body in 30 minutes, the addition of this mass makes the space tighter. The medical team look at his abdominal CT scan. Not only is the mass of the ground beef sitting in his stomach, but they also see that it's squeezing out and pushing up against the pancreas, compressing it. This can cause a backup of digestive enzyme flow, building pressure up inside the organ, and without proper outflow being available, the pancreas starts to digest itself, ending in pancreatitis. Itis meaning an inflammation. Because the kidneys are close by too, it looks like the burger mass is squeezing in, pushing against the blood vessels, limiting...
Don't be pigs, people.
Yeah.
Just don't be a pig.
Dude. Blood flow to the kidneys, causing them to shut down. The only way to fix this is for the burger to not be in his abdomen anymore. Naturally, the body should move this from normal function, but as the days pass, the medical team notes that GF's condition keeps getting worse. His abdomen remains swollen, and large bits of beef appear to be blocking all movement through his intestines. A tube is inserted into his nose to get access to his stomach, where they try to wash and pump it multiple times, but it seems like the beef is packed in tight, with possibly the evolution of gas in his GI tract. Competitive eating isn't necessarily a new phenomenon, but the amounts eaten at the highest levels have gone up substantially.
Dude, check this out. Like, listen to these numbers. It's in...
When you, like, the Nathan's, like, Joey Chestnut, it's like, it's gross.
It's insane.
In the United States, we have a hot dog eating contest every year in New York. Legend has it that it's more than 100 years old, but at the first recorded contest in 1972, the winner ate 14 hot dogs with buns. The record today for that same contest is 76 hot dogs in 10 minutes. These are professional, competitive eaters, but sometimes us regular folk might find ourselves eating more than we originally anticipated. Some of the best information that we have on the body during competitive eating is from a study that was done in 2007 in one of the top competitive eaters at the time. He was compared to a regular untrained person, and both had images taken of their stomachs while they ate a large quantity of hot dogs. The untrained person stopped at 7 dogs because he couldn't eat anymore, and the image of his stomach showed no distension, meaning that he felt full without his stomach stretching to a high degree. On the other hand, the competitive eater finished 36 hot hot dogs in 10 minutes, and images showed that his stomach stretched to fit the glitzies. And as he kept eating, it kept stretching. The muscle was able to do all of this while not contracting or churning any of the...
The term for hot dogs now is glizzies.
Yeah?
Yeah, he said glitzies. Oh. It's glizzies.
Food, as the final image showed the stomach flexible as much as it needed to be to accommodate the size and weight of 36 hot dogs. The problem is, physically, we don't...
Listen, when... What?
No, I'm listening.
When we first started out as a species,
yes,
we had to do that.
Right.
So it is possible. Because food was like when you captured something and ate it, you had to eat as much of it as possible in one sitting. Like animals, like lions do. Like when they have a kill, they overeat they until they can't even move. So in nature it exists, right? This competitive eating scenario exists, right? I think we just acclimated to... Like, we're not acclimated to it anymore.
Well, yeah, there's no need to eat like that anymore. That's
like when you're starving, or people who have been on a desert island, or, I hate to bring this up, but like people like in concentration camps, when they had to tell them to not eat so much because they would kill themselves trying to eat, because they just weren't adapted to it.
Well, there have been stories of, in China back in the day when they were doing the purges, and they would lock up these doctors, and then they would bust out these doctors in serious medical situations because, all their students couldn't fucking handle it. And they would have not eaten for days. They would give them something to eat, and they would eat to the point their stomachs burst. Yeah, there's stories like that. Yeah.
Know what happens long-term to people who do these competitions and have gone through the physical and mental training to do so.
I'm very happy that Google doesn't have to do that anymore.
Some level of control needs to be acquired in practice because regular people who aren't trained to do this can't do it, no matter how big or how hungry that they think they are. We know that the stomach is a muscle, and muscles are controlled by nerves. If elite competitive eaters are all like this one in this imaging study, is it possible that over years and decades, something could happen to the muscle? What if one day it can't stretch like that anymore? Or it's stretched like that for the rest of their life? Or even more delicately, what if something happens to the nerves where they can't control the muscle anymore? This would result in something called gastroparesis, where there's delayed movement out of the stomach. And issues like that aren't isolated. What if later in their life, in their 50s or 60s or 70s, they need to be on medicines for their blood pressure or for insulin resistance, diabetes, or something related to mental health? Some of those medicines can have an impact on gut, muscle, and the corresponding nerves. I'll give you an example. There's a new extremely popular class of weight loss compounds that were originally diabetes medicines that could possibly cause this gastroparesis. And there's no telling if these competitors would be on this medicine at some time later in their life, either for weight loss or for glycemic control and diabetes. There's other considerations too. One being that competitive eaters may not be able to feel full or satisfied, unlike the untrained person, because their stomach keeps stretching and stretching and stretching without the feedback that enough is enough. The person who participated in that imaging study himself said, "Deep down, I've wondered how long-term competing is for my health. I can't ignore that feeling anymore." Other proposed problems that can come from this excess competitive eating are tears that can happen in the esophagus, but documentation of that actually happening so far are not so clear. But what is clear is GF's case. 5 days after he presented to the emergency room, his organ shutdown
5 days
was getting
later,
worse.
he's still dealing
his pancreas
with this.
could become so inflamed that it can start to cause long-term problems,
Imagine...
one of which could be growing a giant zit-like structure on top of it. Because the 8-pound burger was still sitting there without any movement, it's stretching the walls of his stomach. Pressure on the blood vessels in the stomach muscle increases and blood flow decreases, starving it of oxygen. If this keeps up, parts of his stomach can't survive and it will break, causing a perforation, leaking burger, stomach acid, and bacteria into the rest of his body which can be fatal. If the stomach can't move the burger and attempts to wash and pump his stomach can't remove the undigested ground beef, the only other option is to surgically go in and remove it for him. But as GF was getting prepped for the operation, he suddenly noticed movement inside. He felt his guts immediately quake in his body. A massive passing of flatulence lasting several minutes started happening, and then a tremendous bowel movement preceded him being discharged from the hospital as he made a full recovery.
Wow.
Patient GF is portrayed by my good friend Guga Foods, and we made a video together on his channel. You can see that one right here. Thanks so much for watching. Take care of yourself and be well.
Guga didn't say a word.
Oh, man, that was great. I can't believe the dude survived. Wow. All right.
You know we're guilty. We've been there. Yeah, of course. We've overeaten to the point of like.
That was last night for me. Yeah, you saw me yesterday. I was starting to get the meat sweat. So I've been helping Frenchy take photos for his new menu. They're making a company handbook, kitchen procedures on platings and stuff like that. Because Frenchy has decided to pass down the torch to some newer, younger talent. And this guy, Chef David's been crushing it. We'll throw up some B-roll now, showcasing some of the dishes. And it's been great for me because we get to order the whole menu. And yesterday, we ordered 4 mains. There were 4 of us. It was us and your 2 kids. And the thing was, none of them ate. Like, they all took small, tiny bites of everything because one of them already ate something before, and the other one...
And they're not gluttons. They know, like, no, I'm not hungry.
Yeah, yeah. And
I don't need to eat more.
Yeah, and you're not a glutton. And I was just like, oh, more for me. And by the end of the meal, I had like, a small handful on each plate. And I was just like, I can't do it anymore. And last night, man, I did not sleep good.
No?
The whole night, I was like, oh, that duck.
I can't tell you. You could take that with you. No, I got another bite.
Yeah.
It's like, you could take it
Well,
with you.
it was funny because right before they boxed it up, I was like, wait.
One more bite.
One more bite of duck. Okay. Take it away. Well, now that I've been working out so regularly now, my appetite is much bigger. Yesterday was definitely glutton, but yeah, my appetite's been bigger, like bigger than usual, for sure. So yeah, it's been good. It's been fun.
You're not running any marathons to be eating that.
No. Yesterday was glutted. Like today, I actually woke up. I was like, I don't think I'm going to even go downstairs unless I have to, just to not be tempted. Oh. All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today.
Oh, no, we have to go get lasagna.
Oh, fuck. Like now.
Now.
Oh, you're right. Okay. All right. We go get lasagna. Oh, damn. Oh. Okay. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode as much as we did making it. And remember.
And on that note, we're going to eat more.
Yeah, on that note, we're going to eat more. But remember, it always gets better. And with that said, I'm Chef Briantsao, not your typical chef,
Frenchy.
And we'll see you really soon. Say bye to the wide cam. Bye.